Professor Arvind Malagatti is a multifaceted, prominent, prolific Kannada Dalit writer who has worked in almost all the genres. His works have been translated into English and into many of the Indian languages. His autobiography, Government Brahmana, is made into a film. Karya, the novel, has been published by Penguin. Now I am going to read a poem entitled Who One Came to Grand Boon, which is taken from a collection called Silicon City and the Cuckoo, published in the year 2003. This poem I like because the way in which the poet presents the figure of a god. The figure of a god. So in the poem, the god presents himself to give a boon to the protagonist. The protagonist presented here is a writer who is so engrossed in his writing, then the god comes and tells him, I am a god and I am going to give you a boon, like. So, but normally the people are enthusiastic in receiving the boon, but the writer is so involved, engrossed in completing his work, so that he tells him, sit down, then I will give attention to you. But the dialogue continues. The god, who is unable to attract the attention of the writer, now he says that I am real god, and then the writer questions him, saying that even a blade of grass cannot stir without your command. How can you allow so many unjust things to happen, like? He reminds him, and the god also asks him, the writer, you are not going to give me a glass of water. You are asking for a glass of water in an untouchable house. And so many exploitations have taken place. Take for example the Bendigire, and where excrement was made to, people are made to eat, and they were made to drink urine. And and people are denuded, women were denuded, and all these things happen because of your kindness, he says. And then he requests him to sit, but he doesn't sit, and he reminds him that you are wearing a three-piece suit, and if you are not leaving the place immediately, people may disrobe you. It may be difficult for you to go away from here. But still the god persistently stays there. Then the protagonist calls his wife, who was sweeping, and calls Dharani, and was sweeping, his wife was sweeping, and the god employs enacts the disappearing trick. The god disappears. The way in which the writer takes up the topic and marshals it, it's a marvelous thing. It is throughout the poem what you see, a paradoxical stance of the writer. So this is one of the reasons why I liked this and selected this poem. Now I am going to read the poem. The title of the poem is One Who Came to Grant Boons. Somebody greeted with Namaskar. I raised my head and showed the chair. He did not sit but continued to stand. I raised my head again, showed him the chair with my left hand without moving my right hand, which stuck to the white sheet holding the pen. He still stood there. I told him, 2 minutes, I will finish. Be seated, please. He broke his silence and said, I am God. Like a typical Mysorean, I told him, it is okay, sit down. He changed his tone and said, I am the real God. I am satisfied with your penance. You may ask for a boon. His dress did not resemble the costume worn by the calendar gods. It did not look like my dress either. He was wearing a full suit. He had a leather bag, oil smeared on hair. His black shoes were shiny, a multicolored tie around his neck. He had combed his hair backwards, a veritable representative of the 21st century liberalization. I stared at him once and said, "I am writing, don't bother me." God started drawing the chair slowly. "Don't take the chair," I said. God smiled gently, began to sit down. "That is not meant for you," I said. But he sat down. "That's all right. Whatever you want to give, you give and leave the place," I said. "You didn't ask what I wanted. Neither did you offer me a glass of water. What can you give me? You who ask for water from all untouchables. Don't you know nothing moves without you? To give me water which I have given you. What arrogance!" "That's not arrogance. It is the lesson which you have taught me. I know without your mercy not a blade of grass stirs. Your kindness it is that made my people eat excrement and drink urine in Bendigiri and Datturu. Outcasting men, disrobing women, taking them in a procession, all this and much more is a result of your kindness. Please leave this place at once." God's face turned pale as if he had eaten excrement. He tried to pacify me. "I don't want all that. Leave at once," I said. "I came here to grant you boon," he said. "What do you have to give? If those who do not have clothes disrobe and snatch your clothes, you may find it difficult to go back. Please leave right away." I saluted him. He continued to stand. My wife was sweeping the floor. I called her Dharani loudly. God vanished in a jiff. I got myself again involved in my work.